Hey everybody, good evening. This is Sarah Harnish. I'm a Young Living Diamond and I'm the author of the Game Plan Oil Script Book and also Game Plan and also Fearless and Ignite and Unstuck and all of the things. And I'm so glad to get to go through the class tonight with you. We're talking about enzymes. This is our last night on enzymes. And then we got a whole media package that we're going to launch. It just makes it really easy for you guys to be able to teach this stuff. So we'll do a quick little reset at the beginning. And that is, what on earth is the Game Plan Oil Script Book? Like, what am I talking about? It's an Amazon bestseller. This is my 5th Amazon bestseller, so super stoked to have 5 of these things and be able to just give back to Team Young Living, because you guys have blessed me so much, so much. And so John and I, my husband, we sat down and said, what's the thing that's really going to help Team Young Living come out of the pandemic, start building their businesses again, generate community, get people excited about oils? And it was classes. I always go back to the model of classes because that's how we built to Diamond. So this book is pretty awesome because it's got 25 classes in it, and we have just crossed the halfway mark with our classes. So if you haven't seen the content in the beginning of this thing, it is totally stacked. So there's oils, thieves, Ningxia, CBD, and the kids class. All of these are backed with science, literature, statistics, information, knowledge, gut information, information on Young Living, what products will help them. It's awesome. Then Fearless, which is basically your, internal aromatic topical use of oils with a little emotional tipped in there. Oils of the Bible, one of my personal favorites. The Raindrop class, feelings, gut health, the 4 most important Young Living supplements. And if you're ever wondering, like, oh man, I missed all of that content already. You've already trained on it. You're never late to boot camp, not ever. Like, this is a totally different boot camp than any boot camp I have ever done before. And that's because you can hop on anytime and you're never late to the party. You're just picking up a new class. It's just like you're attending a class for the very first time, right? We've got enzymes, which we're wrapping up tonight. Next Tuesday, the skin class. And this one's totally different from all the other classes in the book. Bloom, Art, and Savvy. We're going to cover all 3 of them. Then the hair class, the tooth class, hormones and oils, animal aromatherapy, basic massage for couples, a tour of the Young Living massage oils, intro to diffusers. Have you ever had a diffusers class? Like, how do you use them? Which one's best for which room? How do you know how many you need? Like, it's got so many good tips in it. Seedlings, the baby class, the manly man class, top oily products for dudes, the techniques class. So I'm going to teach you neuroauricular, ear technique, valor balancing. That's all coming up in August and September. How to make your own blends, I'm pretty sure is the #1 class in this whole book outside of the Gary Young class. So you don't want to miss those classes. They're really good. And then Einkorn, and then a tribute to the founder of Young Living, D. Gary Young. And it's a whole class on Gary that you can teach to your team. So pretty excited about all of the stuff that's coming. And then we have 7 protocols. So 7 different things that you can do to run 30-day challenges with your team. So everything from cleansing, weight loss, emotional release, energy and brain, Gary's Great Day, grief and internal oils, and then colds and flu, a teacher training and keeping God as your center in a crazy world. So these are all the classes from the Game Plan Oil Script Book, and we are just wrapping up class 112 out of 125 plus the 7 protocols. So we're about halfway through on this boot camp. I've had 2 requests from you guys since I started boot camp, which I'm pretty excited about. One of them is you guys would like this book written in a 15-minute format. So you could turn around and teach this stuff to your teams in 15-minute power classes. So like a third of the length that it is basically still giving information, but it's just really, really consolidated and tight. Jamay, thank you for watching from the Philippines. Lisa says she's excited about the skin class. So many classes coming up. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. And so I am working on that project right now to give you guys an abridged version where you could turn around and just bang these out in really short topical classes where you could like teach it 15 minutes in a coffee house. The second thing that I have been getting flooded with results with questions for, I mean, all week since the new website launched in Young Living is, Sarah, are you going to rewrite Game Plan, the original Game Plan that built this page to 75,000 people? Are you going to rewrite that for the new website and the new structure of Young Living and Silverbound and all of that? And the answer is yes. Starting next week, our team is going through game plan word by word and adding Silverbound in and doing a total top-down rewrite. And I'm really excited to announce that at the start of next year, we did our first boot camp in January 4 years ago. So when we mark our 5-year marker, we will be able to do a game plan boot camp with a completely updated game plan book. So lots of really cool things coming up. So an abridged script book, which just gives you the tools to be able to teach, and then an updated game plan so you guys can run game plan boot camps with your team. And it will be completely updated for the new website. So thank you for continuing to use my resources. I pray that they're still relevant for your teams, that you enjoy them, that they're timely, that that they contain the information that you need to be able to teach without reinventing the wheel. That's my goal, is that we're just generating things that really, really bless you guys and help you to grow your teams. So, all right. That said, we got people from Thailand listening today. Jeannie, it's really good to see you, friend. Christina. So those are some things in the cooker that I've got coming down the pipeline, and I'll keep you guys in the know. My number one project this summer, we're just starting those editing projects for the 2 books, but my number one project is to get the script book up on Audible for you guys. So starting on Monday, I'm going to get into the studio and begin recording this 700-page book. And you guys have asked for the workbook to be up on Audible also. The nice thing about that is that you can listen to it while you're doing stuff like a podcast. So it's just really helpful. And say you want to, have somebody do a seedlings class, but they can't get to a seedlings class, they could literally snag the Audible version and listen to the seedlings class on Audible. So we're working on banging all of that out for you guys. And it is probably going to be about a 5-week project for me to get the whole thing recorded. Then we'll jump hardcore into the abridged script book and the updates for a game plan. So many cool things coming down the pipeline, but that's just kind of where my head is at right now. Doris is like, Audible, I'm in. I know. I love Audible because it just delivers everything in a cell phone format, and it's really easy to use. Super easy to use, and you can use all your free credits for it, and it puts the whole book in that way of listening. Once I get game plan redone and edited for the new site, then I'll get that one re-recorded for Audible also. Kay says, my mom's eyesight is so bad. That's excellent. Kay, man, you are not alone. I'm noticing in my 40s, my eyesight is not what it was in the 20s. Yeah. So Nancy says, I love the Audible ideas. I have some eye problems and reading can be a chore. So Audible's great for me. Friend, you are not alone. Oh, Christina says she ordered the workbook. It'll be here tomorrow. All right. Well, you're keeping me focused, Christina. So thank you. Tonight, we're going to run through the mini. Normally I do this on Wednesdays, but yesterday was my son's 17th birthday. So let me just share my screen with you guys real quick and show you a couple of pictures from his day. So thank you for the day off. I appreciate that because it allowed me to spend some time with him. Let me go to my personal page here. So let's see, Sarah Harnish. And if I scroll down, this is my son, Benjamin. He's our 4th born he's not the caboose. We got one more. I get to go get him from camp in a couple days, but this was some pictures of his birthday. We played some basketball and he whooped us, and we went go-karting for a while and he whooped us at that also. And this is my husband, John, if you guys haven't had a chance to see him. And here we are go-karting with him. I made him some homemade cinnamon rolls with einkorn flour. And here's this party. And then we went on a 5-mile bike ride in downtown Greenville. So it's just a wonderful time. So that said, I'm going to do the mini with you right now. And this one's pretty cool. It is one little book that you can use in your classes that really gets the people in your classes thinking about that specific topic, because they're going to remember so many things from the class. Usually the average person remembers 3 things 24 hours after the class and 1 thing 7 days after the class. So, when you give them little key points, 7 to 10 to 15 points from the class, they're going to walk away with 15 times the knowledge that they would have had they not had it written down and in front of them. And then there's a heart message where I just sit down and say, listen, this is why this topic matters. Like, this is why enzymes are so important for your body. And if you're picking one supplement, this might be the supplement that your body is super deficient in. Gary Young believed very deeply in enzymes. I mean, there's no other product that he created 4 versions of, right? Because there were so many different needs in the gut for different types of enzymes, depending on what you're breaking down. If you think about it, he created a vitamin, but we have one vitamin. He created a green supplement with multigreens, but we have one of those, right? He created an antioxidant supplement, but we have one. We have Ningxia. So, but when it came to enzymes, he made 4 enzymes. So that just gets you thinking about how important Gary thought that this was to your gut health protocol and how much it mattered to him. It was one of the very first things that he created. He created multigreens first, and then right after that was enzymes. So Patty says, I'm ordering the minis. So the way that I'm using these on my team is, if you look at the inside, it gives all 25 classes. So I'm actually offering incentives to my team to come to the classes and cross them off. They get free things from me when they show up. So when they hit 5 classes, they get a freebie. When they hit 10 classes, they get a freebie. I don't care if it's on Zoom. I don't care if it's in person. I don't care if it's at a rally or at an event that we're doing. Like, they can cross these classes off, and then they turn around. What we're seeing is people that would come to 1 or 2 classes are showing up for 5, 6, 7 classes. And when somebody comes to 1 class, they'll order 50 PV. When they sit through 2 or 3 classes, they might order 100 PV or 190 PV and get some of those freebies. Once you get into that 100, 190 zone, that door is open for you to talk about becoming a brand partner and getting their product for free. So I'm a huge advocate of as many classes that you can get them to. That's going to increase your OGV, and it's going to help find you guys business builders to run the business alongside you. And when you have business builders, you have duplication, you have rapid OGV growth. So this project, the Scriptbook project, serves 2 purposes. It's not just product education and getting people on loyalty rewards, subscribe to save, but it's also helping you guys find business builders, because the more they order, the more likely they are to need a little extra income coming into their home to pay for the products that they're swapping out. Okay, so I just I use this in all of my classes now, and it's just been a huge blessing. So I am going to turn to class 112, which is our supplement, or sorry, enzymes class. Here it is. So this is the 112 enzymes class. We're going to do the mini first, and then I'm going to pop over and do the workbook training, and the mini takes us just a few minutes. When I finish the workbook, then I'll pick a bunch of winners for tonight, and then next Tuesday we're going to jump in and we're going to do all the skin stuff, and I'm going to come on in full stage makeup for you guys, because I want to show you what savvy can look like full. Like, I know you guys have seen all of the pictures out there with the little light blush on the cheeks and the little, you know, the little mascara, and it looks like their makeup is slightly changed, but it's mostly their skin. I'm going to show you that you can wear this stuff to weddings. You can wear it, like, you can wear it on Sunday morning to church if you want that big Southern look, right? Like, you can make it look like that by layering it. And that's the way that I wear it. I like a little more makeup on my skin. So I'm going to deck myself out next Tuesday in full savvy, so you can see the entire thing. And you guys can ask me any questions on what I'm wearing, and I'll tell you all my colors and everything I'm using and how I put it on and all of that. So pretty excited about all of that. All right. Okay, so here's the enzymes class. Louise says, hi, Sarah. Hi, Louise. It's good to see you. Karen says, I still need to order minis. I got everything else. What kind of freebies do I give for coming to classes? Generally, I don't give freebies for people coming to the class. Well, I give them a purple bag, and it's got a mini in it. But what I'd love to do in my classes is hand out some gifts for answering questions. I do trivia in my classes to make sure people are paying attention. And I'll pick, like, 3 to 5 people, and I'll give prizes away for answering the trivia. So there's trivia questions actually in the back of the workbook for every single one of the 25 scripts. So you don't even have to think through that. It's pretty simple. You just print off the trivia for that class and just go ahead and use it. But then what I'll do is I'll give away maybe a Ningxia packet, or I'll give away a Fearless book, or I'll give away maybe a sample of Thieves Whitening toothpaste or the CBD muscle rub, or maybe I'll give away a roll-on. I keep it really cheap. It's like, $1 or $2 per person. I don't want to have, I have to come up with $200 every time I'm teaching classes. So sometimes if I have an extra oil because I got a lot on loyalty rewards, I might grab one of my extras and use that as a giveaway. So, but I just like to keep the energy in my classes really, really high. So I don't usually give gifts to every single person coming in, but I love engagement. And the people that are engaging with you are probably a little bit more likely to place orders. Also, they're curious, they're asking questions, they're engaged in the class. So it's really good. All right. Okay, so let's go into the mini. We're going to first hit on remembering the class, which just gives you some highlights from the class. So These are the things I really want you to remember from the enzymes class. Not so fun fact, 80% of all corn grown in the United States, and that also means every single corn containing product is grown with genetically modified seeds. So I'm really careful when I grab things with corn in it to make sure that it's got that little green label on the front that says non-GMO. What will you feel when you're not getting enough nutrients in your body? So ask yourself, do I feel any of these things? Because you actually might be suffering from not having enough enzymes in your body. Mental fatigue, digestive discomfort, the need to avoid certain foods because of how you react, food sensitivities and allergies, irregular bowel movements, diarrhea, irritable bowel, a feeling of fullness or bloating, sluggishness after meals, gassiness, acid reflux, GERD, heartburn, poor tissue repair. So maybe you get a cut or a bruise and it just takes forever for it to heal. Weight gain, constipation, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, lactose intolerance, diverticulitis, gastritis, skin issues, acne, eczema, psoriasis, headaches, hormone struggles, and many other neurological, digestive, and skin issues. So lots and lots and lots of those are linked to poor digestive health. So maybe not breaking down your food and getting the nutrients out of your food the way that you should. So why enzymes? Lots of reasons, because they do a lot of things. But one of the big things that they do is they help you pull nutrients out of what you're eating and naturally digest the food that's in your gut. And they're responsible for chemical reactions in the body that allow it to function correctly. So what are two reasons why it's important to use supplements? The very first is enzyme depletion. You've got enzymes in your gut that as you age, they get depleted or they're damaged. Secondly, researchers have discovered that cooking or processing food over 118 degrees Fahrenheit kills virtually all digestive enzymes that occur naturally in the food. So if you don't have a mix of fresh and cooked food in your diet, you're likely losing most of the enzymes that you need. Chemical exposure, poor diet, and lifestyle changes can deplete enzymes. All Young Living enzymes are FDA inspected and contain no yeast, no fillers, no dairy, wheat, corn, soy. They're free of artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, and they adhere to the seed to seal promise. So Young Living has created 4 types of enzymes. We went over this 2 days ago, but the 4, and you're like, wait a second, there's just Essentialzyme and Essentialzyme 4. No, there's not. There's actually 4 enzymes. So Essentialzyme, Essentialzyme 4, Allerzyme, and Detoxzyme. Those are the 4 different enzymes. So how do you determine which enzyme is good for you? Essentialzyme breaks down fats, proteins, carbs, and fiber. It's the best enzyme for the pancreas and for the liver. This is the only enzyme designed to be chewed. So if you have a hard time swallowing pills, this is a really good option. This is the only enzyme that helps support low hydrochloric acid in the stomach, which is a major cause of many digestive issues. Essentialzyme 4 is ideal for those who've had their gallbladder removed. So it aids in the digestion of fats, proteins, fiber, and carbs. It's the best enzyme if you are nutrient deficient. It's a combination of all the other enzymes. So Essentialzyme 4 gives you a little sampling of all of them. This is the best choice to take if your food intake is deficient. So if you're sick, if you're traveling, if you're under stress, if you're eating for the holidays or birthdays or just not eating correctly, this enzyme helps balance all the other enzymes in your gut. Allerzyme. This relieves occasional fullness, pressure, bloating, gas, or minor cramping after eating. It's really good to take after large meals while traveling and eating unusual foods, or after you've eaten a food that doesn't agree with you. So it aids in the digestion of sugars and starches. It provides relief from allergies and a stuffy nose. It's valuable, a valuable aid to the normal function of the respiratory system. If you're ever worried about some of the things that I'm saying and some of the claims that I'm making, all of the product descriptions are taken from Young Living's website. So they've already been through teams of lawyers. They've already been approved. You're not going to get in trouble with compliance for reading the descriptions off of the website. So if you're sensitive to gluten, this is the best enzyme to break down gluten and lactose, bread and dairy, which are common allergens. This is a vegetarian enzyme complex, so it's using no animal products. And then Detoxzyme. This one relieves occasional fullness, pressure, bloating, gas, pain, or minor cramping after eating. This is great for breaking down sugars, starches, proteins, and fats. It's the best enzyme to use during a cleanse. You can take this supplement when you have things in your body that you need to purge. It's great for for cleaning yourself out. This one, if you're really sensitive to stuff, this is the best enzyme to start with, is Detoxon, because it's the gentlest. It's the enzyme for breaking down beans, soy, seeds, barley, cashews, walnuts, rice, and legumes. Many vegans choose this option because their diet includes a lot of those foods. This enzyme contains no animal products. It's the fastest acting of all 4 enzymes, and Detoxime has the fewest essential oils, meaning it would be the enzyme of choice for people with food sensitivities. So, you just kind of look over those different ones. Have you just had Thanksgiving dinner? Did you overeat? Did you eat a lot of gluten? Are you reacting to things that you're putting on your skin? Maybe start with Detoxime instead. So you base it all off of where you're at. And you might switch your enzymes out every single month, depending on what your needs are, right? So the one thing I wanted you to remember is always do a cleanse in this order: colon, then liver, because you want to make sure your exit points are clear before you start flushing the liver and doing liver work, right? All right, here's our heart message. There's 4 parts to the mini. That's what we're studying out of right now, is the Game Plan Oils Script Book Mini. So when I think of healthy things to do for my body, enzymes would not typically be at the top of the list. And I'm just shooting straight with you, but I stand corrected, because they're actually more important than vitamins, because you're already eating a lot of good vitamins in the food that you eat. You're just not always assimilating them all. You're not breaking them all down. So they're responsible for most of the chemical reactions occurring in the body. If you're having health issues, this is a really good, simple thing to cross off the list. It's a fast fix to just sit down and pop an enzyme in your mouth while you're making your dinner, right? Refer to the chart, which is in the Game Plan Oil Script Book, to see which enzyme is best for you. Pick one and just give it a shot. Use it for 30 days. Don't do more than 1 to start, though. I would stay on it for a month if you're able. But I can tell you, enzymes were one of my best supplement choices. My tummy is flat when I take them. Like, I don't have all the bloating and I don't look like I'm pregnant, right? I saw a difference in how much gurgling my stomach made, what my skin looked like, how restful my sleep was. My nose was less drippy. So for me, enzymes are a quality of life issue. So just give them a shot, see how you feel. And if you don't see huge changes with this one, you've got 3 other enzymes that you can swap out just to see if they're a better fit. That's the neat thing about plants, is that God made a lot of plants, and usually one of them is going to fit you a little bit better than another enzyme, but enzymes are always a great choice. So what to order? We always point your new oiler in a certain direction. And I don't know if you guys know this, but as of this week, you can now bring people into Young Living without a starter bundle. So the new website is totally live, and you don't need a starter bundle anymore to bring them in. So you could recommend that they buy all 4 enzymes. They hit 100 PV and they get a wholesale discount then for life. Isn't that awesome? Just from ordering enzymes. So you can recommend anything. If they came to the enzymes class, you can start them with the enzymes. So what to order? Essentialzyme, Essentialzyme 4, Allerzyme, and Detoxzyme are the 4 products mentioned in the class. So what about action steps? This is the last little thing in the mini. Well, you pick one enzyme and you take it as recommended for 30 days, and then note if you are experiencing any changes. Add a second enzyme after 30 days, or consider a cleanse if you're not seeing any huge changes in your body. My favorite package is the Cleansing Trio, which is on Young Living's website. It's item 3115. You should do a cleanse with the change of the seasons, or about 4 times a year. All right, 4 times a year. So that takes me to the next page, which is Essential Oils 113, which is our skin class. It's going to be super fun, and we're going to pick that one up next week. So now what I'm going to do is do a quick screen share with you guys, and we're going to hop over and do some workbook work. Thank you for all your questions and all of your comments. I love seeing your stuff on my screen. I'm going to open up my workbook. So when you open the workbook, the first thing you're going to see is a big coloring page. My son hand drew all of these pictures. Isn't that cool? Like, he did every single one of these, and he's, I shared Gabe's story. I shared it during Game Plan. If you've been with me since the very, very beginning, but our oldest son has autism. And for the first 7 years of his life, he was nonverbal, autistic. And he's 22, he's married, he's got 3 beautiful daughters, and he's doing really well. And working to become a car mechanic, going to school and getting certifications and everything. I'm just so proud of him. But this is one of the pictures that he hand drew. So he took all of our photographs and drew them all so that you guys could learn the plants and learn what they look like, so you're like, oh, fennel looks like this. It's like bulbs, kind of like garlic. That's crazy. Alfalfa looks like this. What the what? I didn't know juniper looked like little olives. Like, that's kind of nuts. Lemongrass is like sticky. It's like stick-like. That's crazy. So you can learn what the plants look like that we are using to make the oil. All right, enzymes, 112. So every single workbook section is 10 parts to it, and we're going to work through it kind of quickly tonight, and then I will get you guys out of here. So this class is a pillar to the script book, and you might not believe me, but I can tell you that enzymes were among the first 10 products that Gary designed. He knew how important they were for the gut. So if you're not absorbing the nutrients in your food, you're in real trouble. You're malnourished. If your body doesn't have fuel, then you don't move correctly. I can tell you as a personal testimony, enzymes with my son, the one that drew the picture of the workbook, he's on the autism spectrum, were a game changer. Of all the supplements that we have done with him in 20 plus years, the biggest difference I saw with him was enzymes. And the second biggest supplement for us with him is CBD for sure. But enzymes, oh my gosh. So it was one. So if you got a kid that you think might be on the spectrum, start enzymes with them and just see what it does for their gut. Because I found kids that are autistic or bipolar or ADHD, they really benefit with gut health supplements, really, really, and particularly enzymes. So if there was one product that I had to lead you to, it would be this one. Obviously, there's no cure for autism, but he is able to function better. And as a mama, that means the world to me. My husband takes enzymes. I mean, you would never think an enzyme would have anything to do with sneezing, right? You're just sneezing, like you just sneeze. That's what it is, right? It's all about absorbing nutrients. So why would that help with your nose? All I can tell you is when my husband takes Allerzyme, he sneezes maybe 3 times a day, sometimes no times a day. And without it, he sneezes over 100 times a day. So sneezing is not a life altering thing. It's not going to, be life or death for my husband. It's not a disease, but it is a quality of life factor for him. And he's more comfortable. So we noticed since we moved from the north in New York all the way down to South Carolina, there was definitely a change in how he handled the pollen down here. So he's more comfortable with the enzymes. So that gentle shift in the body is one of the many reasons that I use Young Living. It's not about curing. It's about the tiny steps and the small things that support the body so it can do what it needs to do. When you give the cells fuel, they work. So if this one supplement is able to make a difference for you, then I feel like we've made headway with this book. So let's take a closer look at the enzymes class. So here's key points from the class. And if you need the answers to these, we actually have them on our website, which is where you can find my books also. If you go over to oilabilityteam.com, there's 2 places you can get my books. If you go to shop, and you can just do all products or just click on the shop button. We actually created a bundle and discounted it 10% forever. It's not a sale. It's just always every day. So if you're ordering one of each, or you just need an easy button for your team and you want to take them through the script book, or you want to take them through 5 classes in the script book this fall, and you want everybody to be able to order, they can get a teacher's edition, an Oiler edition, a workbook, and 20 minis all in one spot and discounted 10%. So super easy for them to be able to use. The second thing I want to show you is if you go to Amazon, let's see if I can find Amazon here. I've got it. No, that's my email. That's my kids' curriculum. I can't move this thing over so I can get to stuff here. That's our wilderness retreat. All right, I'm not seeing. Let me go over to, if you go to Amazon.com and just type in Game Plan Oils Script Book, you will see this is the book and this is the workbook. And it's a huge blessing to me if you guys leave me reviews on my book. That's a big way you can say thank you if you like the content. But the workbook, the book, and the mini are all up on Amazon. So if you just need it really quick, you don't want to pay shipping, you want it on Prime, this is a super quick, efficient, easy way to be able to get the script book. Okay. So let's pop back over. I was going to show you also, if you go to the main script book page, so if you go to share Game Plan Script Book, and you scroll down, this is the table of contents, a little FAQ, here's boot camp. So all of our PowerPoints and everything are there, downloadables. See right here, it says script book, workbook, answer key. There's an answer key that you can click on that gives you the answers to all of these workbook questions right at the bottom of the page. So if you have one you can't find the answer to in the script, well, you can always go there and see what we were thinking and be able to find the answers there. So I won't go through all of these, but what percent of corn grown in the United States is GMO? It was 80%, right? You'd have to eat blank oranges today to get the same amount of vitamin A that your grandparents got. What do you feel when you're not getting enough nutrients in your body? Pick 3 things that you're feeling in your body from that long list of things I told you and tell me, do you think any of these might be enzyme related, that you're not getting enough nutrition? What are enzymes? Give me 2 reasons why it's important to supplement. All Young Living enzymes are FDA inspected and contain no, and just write down what they don't have. List one enzyme that's inside a capsule. What are the 4 types of enzymes? And what are the names of the enzymes that Young Living has created? Kindling or matchsticks are blank in the world of enzymes. How do enzymes work? Gary found that due to our blank and blank, people get depleted in enzymes. Tell me one thing you learned about essentialzyme and essentialzyme 4 and allerzyme and detoxzyme. And then I gave you a chart in the book and it tells you exactly which enzyme does what. So which enzyme do you think you should start with? So it's getting your team thinking, okay, this enzyme would be really good for me. I love this class because we also talk about how to cleanse. Which 3 products are in the cleansing trio? Always do a cleanse in this order: liver then colon, or colon then liver. Right? You always want to make sure the exit points are clear. So clearly your colon needs to be first. So then try one of the 4 protocols. Which protocol from the enzymes class did you do first and why? Explain how to properly dose enzymes. Should you force any supplement or oils? Why or why not? And what do you do if you don't like a supplement? So now we have some action steps, and this is a lot more involved than just the script book. It gives you many, many more things to do and tracking, and it's just really going to get your team you're going to get OGV out of this section instead of just reading a script to them, but you're actually going to lead them to some things that they should be doing for their body. So pick an enzyme protocol and do it. Track it for up to 31 days, 1 month right here. And then we give them 31 boxes so they can track it. And then record your results at the end of each week. If you notice tummy changes, take a before and after photo and tape it to the back of the coloring page to remember why you love taking enzymes so much. So they're tracking week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Snag another book and read about the power of enzymes and many other topics. I love Dr. Leanne Deardiff's Inner Transformation Using Essential Oils. She talks a lot about enzymes. Try the navel technique. I know it's really weird, but just do it. Go to Young Living's Lavender Life blog on the Young Living website and look up these topics. Breaking down digestion, essentialzymes for digestive enzymes for the holidays. So those are 2 enzyme related articles on the blog that Young Living put together that are really well written. Try eating for the 4 seasons and see how you feel. Which foods did you include? We didn't talk about that, so I'll pop on tomorrow night for just a couple minutes and just take you through the cleanses out of this class, because it's really, really good. Then snag a reference guide and do some extra reading on one of the 4 supplements and start another member of your family on enzymes for at least 30 days and note the results. So the one thing that we didn't do is the FAQ section in the enzymes class. So I'll just hop on for just a couple minutes tomorrow night and we'll take a look at that. All right, part 3 is diffusing recipes. So diffusing enzymes would be weird and not possible. They would gunk up your diffuser, but we know enzymes are for digestion. So let me give you some tummy diffuser blends. So you might be thinking, okay, Sarah, but for my tummy, I really should be, putting stuff like topically on my body, right? But you actually can put things in the diffuser and see relief from it. So when my tummy is off, I take enzymes right away, and then I put 1 drop of ginger and 1 drop of digize in my belly button. Wow, it works so fast. So then pop one of these recipes in the diffuser just for comfort. So peace in the belly is 4 drops of grapefruit, 4 drops of lavender, 4 drops of ginger, 4 drops of peppermint, and 2 drops of lime oil. Gut goodness is 6 drops of marjoram, 4 drops of spearmint, and 2 drops of lime. When we finish the script book, all the media stuff for you guys, I'll probably go back and put at least 1 diffuser recipe on each page so you can share them as shareable graphics. I'm also going to put up an action steps graphic that you can share in social media that gives your team some things to do for each of the classes. And then Belly Be Good is 2 drops cardamom. That's an oil that we don't use very much. So I tried to, in some of these recipes, include oils that are a little rarer. 2 drops of ginger, 2 drops of lime, 4 drops of lemon. And how many of you guys are using your rosemary every day? So 1 drop of rosemary. Now the next 5 combos I love. I take these in capsules. So these aren't for the diffuser, or I use them topically on the tummy if they're not a vitality oil. Try them all and see which ones you love the most. All of these combos pair extremely well with any of our enzyme lines. So thyme and rose, cardamom and clove. Oh, that's like spicy. Peppermint and ginger, tea tree and oregano, and fennel and tarragon. Try taking those together. These combos were taken from the website, let's see, pedagoeducation.com. Pedagogy education helps to educate healthcare professionals about essential oils and their uses and how they can be used as complementary treatment for many conditions. So number 4, here's some loyalty rewards ideas. So just some different things you can order outside of the enzymes. So we already talked about the cleansing trio, but also the 5-day nutritive cleanse is another really good choice. Essentialzyme, Juvatone. We talked about the Juvas and what they do for the liver, and Digest Vitality Oil. For month 2, try the other enzymes, Allerzyme, Detoxzyme, Omega Guys. Maybe grab some enzyme support for the kids. Mightyzyme is our kids enzyme, or Lemon Vitality for additional support. At 250 PV, you can get probiotics in the house for the family. So Life 9 and KidSense Mighty Pro will cover your entire family. Just doing that one change of probiotics and enzymes, you should see a significant change in your house. And then for 300 PV, the items listed above, Cortistop to keep your cortisol levels in check. Then month 3, take this month to build your essential oils collection so you can make the diffuser recipes from the workbook. So the Belly Be Good recipe, you're going to need cardamom, ginger, lime, lemon, and rosemary. For peace in the belly, you need the ginger and lime, and then also grapefruit, lavender, and peppermint. And gut goodness, you need lime, and then also marjoram and spearmint. For 250 PV, add Digest and Juvaflex essential oil, and 300, add in Juva Power. So this is something we haven't talked a lot about, but it's a high antioxidant vegetable powder complex and a rich source of acid binding foods. A lot of people will sprinkle Juva Power like on their salads or in their marinades on top of their meat, and it really helps their liver. So part 5 is I just list everything in the class that we talked about. So before you teach a class, you can say, hey guys, this is the stuff we're going to train on for the month of August. If you want to get it in your loyalty rewards orders now, so you've got it and in your house when we start training, this is all the stuff that you would need to be ready to do that. So Essentialzyme, Allerzyme, Detoxzyme, Omega Guys, or if you pick 2 things, and get it in your cart before then you'll be more prepared. Essentialzyme, Life 9, the KidSense, Mightyzyme, Mighty Pro, Mighty Vites, Ningxia, Comfort Tone, ICP, those 2 and Essentialzyme round out the cleansing trio. Juvatone, the liver helper, Ningxia Nitro, Cortistop, Digest essential oil blend, Vitality oils, lemon and peppermint, and then all of the essential oils. So tarragon, peppermint, fennel, clove, ginger, lemongrass, patchouli, juniper, chamomile, tangerine, and Juvaflex. All right, number 6 is bonus training not included in the script book. I'm just going to pop over and look at your guys' questions here and make sure that here's Benjamin. He's such a sweetheart. Make sure that you guys are doing okay. I need to try Juva powder. Yeah, I sprinkle on top of my eggs. Lisa, I love that. Angela says probiotics. Yes. Vivian says, I love tummy jies. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So now we're going to look at the bonus training not included in the script book. So I'm going to keep returning to the use of reference guides because they've greatly enhanced my oils journey. So here's a quick bullet point list of what the Life Science Publishing 3rd edition reference guide has to say about Gary Young's enzymes. So they say digestive enzymes are vital to human health. They break down and digest food to liberate essential nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that sustain life. A lack of digestive enzymes in the diet forces the body to overproduce its own digestive enzymes, and it limits its ability to produce metabolic enzymes that are crucial for health and for normal metabolism. Metabolic enzymes are crucial for every process in the human body. They impact the immune system, circulatory system, liver, kidneys, spleen, pancreas, and our ability to see, breathe, and think. Over 98 enzymes are found carrying metabolic functions in the arteries alone. Only 8% of the food that we consume is metabolized to sustain normal body function. The remainder passes through undigested, 8%, guys, of the food. So only 1 to 2% of the nutrient value of the food that we consume actually reaches our cells. So imagine eating 100 bites of a salad and only 1 bite is actually going to get to your cells, and only 8 bites get broken down, right? These things destroy enzymes in other supplements. So chemicals, fertilizers, herbicides, pesticides, heat, anything over 118 degrees, pasteurization, sterilization, freezing, microwaving, all of these things render enzymes inactive. Gary Young tested 21 different enzyme products from 21 different companies and found the enzymes dead or inactive in all 21 products because of processing. So that's why he was so adamant with our enzymes and with Ningxia that the processing not destroy the product so that it actually works by the time that you go to use it. It doesn't do us any good, guys, to have Ningxia wolfberries and then have everything stripped out of them before they actually get into the bottle and we're drinking them. We need them to be as good as they are when they are in the vine, right? So here's a couple of interesting studies on enzymes. These are taken from really old reference guides, and I pray that they're a blessing to you. Study one is Dr. Francis Pottinger, an American physician and a raw food diet advocate, studied 900 cats. He fed one group raw milk and raw meat, and they lived healthy and disease-free. They produced healthy litters of kittens generation after generation. He fed another group of cats pasteurized milk and cooked food. After the first generation, the group became lethargic and began to suffer from allergies, infections, kidney, heart, and lung diseases. Each new generation of cats had more diseases. By the third generation, they could no longer reproduce. Study number two, in a second enzyme study, researchers found after eating cooked food, the body reacted as if it were suffering from an acute illness. Within 30 minutes, white blood cell counts began to increase dramatically as though the body were fighting an infectious disease. Study three, in a third study, one group of pigs was fed enzyme-rich raw potatoes and another group enzyme-deficient cooked potatoes. The pigs eating the cooked potatoes gained weight rapidly, and the pigs eating the raw potatoes did not get fat. And in study four, the fourth study was conducted by Dr. David Galton at the Tufts University School of Medicine. He studied people weighing between 230 and 240 pounds, and he found that almost all of them were lacking the enzyme lipase in their fatty tissues. This is a fat-splitting enzyme that aids the body in digestion. Lipase breaks down fats that are kept and stored in body tissues that tend to be stored in the waistline, the hips, and the thighs. So anybody having a hard time losing weight, it could be because you're deficient in lipase, which is in all four of our enzymes. Like mind blown, right? And how much you're digesting and breaking down, mind blown. So here's our DIY craft from the class. I got a little crazy with this one. It was a little bit different than the other ones. So we're going to try out a DIY lemon enzyme cleaner. Let's face it, it's just not safe for you to pop open the capsules of Essentialzyme 4 and use the enzymes for a DIY project because the tiny particles can be really irritating to your lungs. So I decided to forego a crafty project with this section and instead come up with a neat science-related good old-fashioned chemical reaction. So it's one that you can put to really good use. Thieves Cleaner is my go-to for 99.9999999% of everything. If I need it stronger, then I add baking soda and undiluted cleaner, and it is incredible. However, every now and then I notice a smell linger. So for example, cat pee or a dog pee, animal smells in general, urine stains on the carpet, unbelievably strong smells that seem to stick around no matter how much you clean, bacteria in teenage shoes. So usually in those cases, you need an enzyme to break it down. So let's do a DIY enzyme cleaner. So I don't add thieves to this. I just let it work on its own. This mix takes about 2 weeks to make, not a physical labor, but of waiting for the enzymes to grow. So you're literally watching a living, breathing science experiment. It uses the cleaning power of yeast paired with lemons to create a potent living liquid solution. So the ingredients are 2 cups of chopped lemons, oranges or pineapples, so the rind and the fruit, 1/2 of a cup of organic brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of instant yeast. The instructions: use a funnel to add the brown sugar to a 2-quart plastic bottle. Chop the citrus fruit small enough to fit inside the mouth of the bottle. Add the citrus and the yeast. Add 1 quart of water. Screw the cap back on tightly. Gently shake the bottle until the sugar is dissolved. Loosen the cap of the bottle just a little bit and leave it in a cool, dark place. And shake it once a day for 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, strain the liquid to use separately and put any leftover pulp in a bowl and use a blender to beat it until it's got a uniform texture. Add baking powder to make a thick paste. It should make about 1 to 1.5 cups. And you're going to add that paste and the liquid to a single spray bottle or jar and shake it to mix. So to use the enzyme cleaner, you're going to add a 1/2 cup of enzyme cleaner to 1 quart of water for an all-purpose cleaner. That's for smells. You can use it undiluted as a stain stick to remove any heavy stains from fabrics. Add 1/4 of a cup of the enzyme to a washing machine or a sink to get rid of smells. Use the scrub to deep clean kitchen sinks, disposals, garbage cans, ovens, bathtubs, shower enclosures, and even the siding on your house. It can clean the siding, guys. So the recipe, again, is not designed to replace thieves cleaner. It is a bit of a pain to make. So I only make it once or twice a year, and I generally only use it on really hardy stains, really nasty smells, or things I just don't feel like scrubbing with thieves. So garbage cans, disposals, ew. I use thieves for pretty much everything. But when you need enzymes to do some extra breaking down, then you'll use this spray. So you just did an in-home science experiment and created enzymes, just as Young Living does every single day for your gut. So don't just use this one in your gut, though. Save it for the pee stains too. So number 8, some affirmations for the class. These are just some things to speak over yourself to, get your head thinking about a healthy gut. So try a few of these as you're wrapping up the study time for this class. So heartburn or reflux is clutching onto fear and not trusting the process of life. The affirmation is, I breathe freely and fully. I am safe. I trust God's process for my life. Indigestion is dread or anxiety about a recent or coming event. Affirmation, I digest and assimilate all new experiences peacefully and joyously. Kidneys, criticism, disappointment, failure, and shame. The affirmation is, God is always in my life. Only good comes from every experience, and it is safe to grow up. The liver is resistance to change, fear, anger, hatred. The liver is the seat of anger and rage. So the affirmation is, my mind is cleansed and free. I leave the past and move on to the new. All is well. What about stomach or intestinal problems, dread or fear of the new, or not feeling nourished? And the affirmation is, I digest life with ease. So tell your body, let me scroll up here a little bit. Tell your body how much you love it, and tell it that you're grateful that it supports you, and pick something to appreciate, like your legs carrying you around or your eyes seeing. Tell your cells out loud that you appreciate them. So here's a few general digestive affirmations. I'm free from stress. If something really speaks to you, put it on a Post-it note and put it on your mirror in your bathroom. I always do what is right for my body. My mind and my body are relaxed and operating smoothly. I digest my food perfectly. I eat a healthy and rich diet, and my cells receive what they need at every meal. My stomach is in peak condition. I always choose healthy foods over junk. My mind is in tune with my digestive system. My intestines are healthier. I will stay focused on taking care of my body. My digestion is strong and efficient. I am totally free of living a life with. And then you write down what you're living your life with, like what are you struggling with? So section 9 is just journaling. So you're going to think through some of these questions as you're putting your journal together and just write it out. Which oils have I used this day, this week, or this month? What results did I see? Is there an oil story that I want to remember? Did I help somebody this week? What did I do? Did I see a new idea with oils on social media or elsewhere that I'd like to try? What hit me from the class, and what would I like to learn more about? And what are my current oils goals? And then the last section is a follow-up section for our brand partners. So it's just for you to track, when you did the class, did you give them a script book mini, Fearless, or Game Plan mini? Have they had the Core 5 training? These are our core products in Young Living. So oils, thieves, Ningxia, CBD, the kids class. Other classes that you have taught them, or what class do they want next? You're just kind of tracking that. And you're tracking, what people might be interested in coming to an oils class. So Oily hangman. This is something we do only on workbook night. There is a hangman chart in the back of this book that allows you to unlock a class from the second script book, which I am in the process of researching right now to start writing. So it looks just like hangman, right? It's got all the hangman spots in it. So you're going to go to slot number 12 for the 112 enzymes class, and your letter for this week is the letter H, and fill it in, but don't give it away if you figured it out, right? I don't want anybody to figure it out without having filled it out themselves and having participated in all of the classes. So tell me one thing that you guys learned tonight. And I'm going to do some giveaways this evening, just wrapping everything up. Darlene says, I love affirmations. I love the affirmations too. We don't even think about speaking life over our cells, the cells of our body, but God, he created every single cell in our body, and he created it for perfection. Like he created it in his image, right? It's only in a sinful, fallen world that our cells start to go amok with the exposure and all the things down here. Judy says, I figured it out. Don't give it away. So tell me something that you guys learned, and I'm going to give away some stuff. So Judy Menzie, I'm going to give you 10 minis tonight. Alice Swisher Bow, I'm going to give you an Euler edition script book. So go ahead and email me and tell me what you won. And Christina Combs learned about the naval test. Christina, I'm going to send you 10 minis also. So to all of my winners, go ahead and email me at oilabilitywithsarah, it's SARAH @gmail.com. I'll pop on tomorrow night for like 10 minutes, and we're just going to talk through the cleansing and the FAQ section of this. It's a really short thing. I just didn't want to make our class longer. And tomorrow night, we will launch the PowerPoint for you guys. We're just finishing up some tweaking on it. We'll get that up on the website so you can turn around and start teaching these classes. This isn't just about your education and your training, but imagine the power of multiplication across your team when your whole team has an enzymes class. If you have 10 people on your team, imagine the power of that OGV with just 10 people getting trained in enzymes. If you have 100 people on your team, imagine the power of 100 people getting trained in enzymes. This is something they reorder every single month, right? So that means residual income for your family. So I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the little DIY tonight. I had fun making that one. I'll go back and shoot some of those as videos and get them up on our website, little shareable videos that you guys can use. But I cannot wait for Tuesday. Tuesday is our fun night. You be prepared to see me caked up in makeup, all savvy makeup, and I will be ready for you on Tuesdays. We kick off all of the savvy stuff, which is a super fun class to do. And then tomorrow night, just a couple of minutes with all of our FAQ on enzymes. All right. I am so grateful for you guys. Oh, Becca says, I didn't know about Allerzyme. Becca Bernard, girl, I'm going to give you an Euler edition book and also a workbook. So you're a fourth winner tonight. Why don't you go ahead and email me, oilabilitywithsarah@gmail.com. Lord just laid you on my heart. So congratulations to all of our winners. I'll see you tomorrow night for a couple minutes and then back again on Tuesday when we start all of our skin stuff. So it's a total reset. So on Tuesday, you're never late to the party. On Tuesday, get your leaders on here, get anybody on your team that's interested in skincare on here, tag them in it. We'll do a little countdown to that class and get ready for all the skin stuff. You're never late. It doesn't matter if you haven't had the first 12 classes. These are a total reset. They don't rely on the classes before them to be able to teach them. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you tomorrow night for a couple minutes and then again on Tuesday. All right. Bye.